The ingredients needed for these jalapeno poppers are 10 jalapenos with 2 more to the side, half of a white onion, half of a cup of Parmesan cheese, or more if you would like, as much cheese as you would like to sprinkle on top of the jalapeno poppers, and 10 ounces of any steak that you would enjoy, 2 tablespoons of oil, and breadcrumbs and hot sauce for toppings. To finely chop the jalapenos, we are going to slice the 2 reserved jalapenos in half and remove the pits and seeds. The pith will be thrown away, however the seeds must be reserved, as this will add extra capsaicinoids to the course. Once the seeds and pith have been removed and reserved, stack the 2 halves of the jalapeno, remove seeds with the knife, and slice in half. Slice the quarters of the jalapeno into eighths, which will form rods. These rods will be finely chopped, and repeat for the other jalapeno as well. The onion is much simpler, as cutting the onion simply requires thin, parallel vertical cuts side by side. After slicing vertically, slice horizontally in the exact same way, to dice the onions instead of chopping them. The diced onions and finely chopped jalapeno peppers are mixed in the same bowl, and with the other 10 jalapeno peppers you must slice them in half, remove the pith, and reserve the seeds. Seeds contain a chemical known as capsaicinoids, which cause the tongue to believe it is being burned. As a result, the body will release endorphins and dopamine to block pain signals and boost a person's mood. One such message produced by capsaicinoids is substance P, which transmits pain signals. The brain responds by releasing another type of neurotransmitter known as endorphins. Dopamine is the body's natural way of relieving pain by blocking the nerve's ability to transmit pain signals. Additionally, the neurotransmitter endorphins, responsible for a sense of reward and pleasure, is also released. Gerardo Lee, 2014. Removing the fat, we will cut the steak into cubes. This will add protein to the 3-course meal, as people with depression tend to skip meals, lose weight, and become malnourished. We will also remove excess fat, like so, as we are cutting the steak into cubes. After cutting the steak, it will look like this. Add the oil to a hot pan. However, we will not add too much, as this will lead to negative long-term effects, prolonging depression. We will add the chopped onions and jalapeno peppers, however do not cook for too long. Prolonged exposure to heat will cause the food to lose nutrients, which are valuable to people suffering from depression. The following nutrients are often reduced during cooking: water-soluble vitamins such as vitamin C and the B vitamins, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, pyridoxine, folic acid, and cobalamin; fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamins A, D, E, and K; minerals such as potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium. Set by Spritzler, 2016. Sauté until brown. Once the jalapenos and onions have browned and finished sautéing, we will add the diced meat. The protein in the meat will be beneficial and valuable to those lacking in it and needing it for growth. Protein cannot be lost during cooking, unlike the vitamins mentioned before, so we will cook until barely cooked inside and brown on the outside. Once the steak is browned and is barely cooked on the inside, sprinkle the Parmesan on top, specifically Parmesan cheese, as it contains high levels of tyrosine. In a study, 22 participants were given either a tyrosine supplement or a placebo before completing a test used to measure cognitive flexibility. Compared to the placebo, tyrosine was found to improve cognitive flexibility. Van de Waal, 2018. Lower the temperature and stir until the Parmesan has melted onto the steak, onion, and peppers. Once the Parmesan has melted on the steak, jalapenos, and onion, we will simply set to the side. Once it is cooled, we will take the meat mixture, set it aside, and begin stuffing the jalapeno cases with said mixture. Simply take a small amount of the meat, place inside of the shell of the jalapeno, and repeat until there is no space left on the tray, like this. Once the cases have been stuffed, simply place inside of the oven and cook for 17 minutes. We will remove them after to place the cheese and reserved seeds on top and cook for a further 3 minutes. Once complete, plate and sprinkle breadcrumbs on top. Not only will this add texture, this will provide carbohydrates and energy needed which may be missing from the person's body. Now we will start with salmon and honey ginger sauce and rainbow veggies. We will need 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 1 tablespoon of chopped ginger. Simply mix together until well incorporated and set aside for later. For this we will need a red bell pepper high in vitamin C, vitamin B6, high in antioxidants, is able to activate thermogenesis, which increases metabolism rate and allowing the body to digest food faster. Daniluk 2016. Half of a red onion, low in calories, mainly made of carbohydrates, contains zero fat and high in vitamin C and B6. Health of Food 2019. We will also need 3 yellow squashes, which are low carb, low calories, cholesterol free, high in vitamin C and iron. Tina M 2019. And finally, half a pound of asparagus, which is a very good source of fiber, vitamins A, C, E, and K, proteins, low in calories, and contains antioxidants. Coil 2018. Simply cut the top off of the bell pepper and cut in half lengthways. Similarly to the jalapeno peppers, we will be cutting these halves into quarters and these quarters into eighths. However, we are not finely chopping these rods. First, take your red onion half and cut the top off. Discard the top and peel the skin off of the red onion. Once the skin has been removed, slice vertical parallel lines similarly to what we did with the white onion when we were cooking the jalapeno poppers. That is complete, simply cut the bottom end of the onion off to form rods. Simply cut the top and the bottom parts off of the yellow squash and discard into the scrap bowl. Once the top and bottom have been discarded, cut the yellow squash into thin slices, and repeat for the other 2 yellow squashes. For the asparagus, simply snap the bottom off where the hard and soft parts of the asparagus meet. Arrange the vegetables next to the salmon, making sure they are lined up and separated. Drizzle the honey ginger sauce on top of the veggies afterwards, using only a small amount as the rest will go all over the salmon. After drizzling the sauce, pour a small amount of oil on the veggies as well, along with sprinkling some salt and pepper on top. Remember, do not allow any salt or pepper onto the salmon, as this will affect the way it is cooked and the way it will taste. After this, we will place the salmon into the oven at 220 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. This is optimal time, as it is a short amount of exposure to heat. Salmon contains omega-3 fatty acids, which are made up of 2 components, EPA and DHA. These components have been the basis of many different studies regarding depression. A 2016 meta-analysis of 26 studies found a 70% lower risk of depression with higher fish intake. ODS.od.nih.gov 2018. For the walnut flaxseed banana bread, we are going to need 1 cup of kale, half a cup of shredded zucchini, half a cup of shredded carrot, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 bananas, half a cup of walnuts, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, half a cup of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda, 1/4 cup of ground flaxseed, 1/3 of a cup of normal flax seeds, half a cup of whole wheat flour mixed with 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, and half of an apple diced. In a medium bowl, mix the flour, flax seeds, baking soda, and the baking powder, the ground flax seeds, and whisk it all together. Mix the apple, kale, carrot, and zucchini in a fruit processor until well combined into a thick liquid-like paste. In a medium bowl, mash the bananas and, once mashed together, pour the processed food into the bananas and mix until the 2 combine into a green banana paste. Finally, we will be bringing all the ingredients together. In a large bowl, mix the egg and egg white using a hand mixer on low speed until fully combined. Then, pour in the butter, the brown sugar, the vanilla, and the green banana mixture, stirring once again at the same speed. The kale, apple, carrot, and zucchini are used in the same way as the veggies with the salmon, providing valuable nutrients. After mixing until combined, pour in the flour mixture and mix, still on the same speed, until combined into a batter. After combining, pour in the walnuts. The walnuts and flax seeds are high in fiber, which are able to prevent potentially negative psychological effects. The scientists narrowed down their search to 16 eligible randomized controlled trials that summed up information from 45,826 participants. In particular, eating more nutrient-dense meals which are high in fiber and vegetables while cutting back on fast foods and refined sugars appears to be sufficient for avoiding the potentially negative psychological effects of a junk food diet. Dr. Firth, 2019. After completely mixing, pour the batter into a buttered bread pan and bake at 176 degrees Celsius for 35 minutes, allowing to cool. This is not optimal, however, as there is quite a long exposure to heat which will break down nutrients from the kale, apple, zucchini, and carrots.